Did you know that at 38, one man walked away from wealth and power to lock himself in a tower? Michel de Montaigne had everything: money, status, a successful career. But in 1571, he made a choice that changed how we think forever. He retreated to his castle library in rural France. Above his head, he carved quotes from ancient skeptics into the ceiling beams. His personal motto became, "What do I know?" While religious wars raged outside his walls, Montaigne did something revolutionary. He turned his attention inward. He wrote the world's first personal essays, not about grand theories or distant ideas, about himself, his fears, his contradictions, his daily thoughts. He discovered that to understand human nature, you must first understand yourself. His radical honesty influenced Shakespeare, inspired Descartes, and laid the foundation for modern psychology. In our age of information, overload, and endless opinions, Montaigne's approach is more relevant than ever. The path to wisdom doesn't start with knowing everything about the world. It starts with knowing yourself. What do you really know? Did you know that one man's final act of defiance created a festival celebrated by millions today? 2,000 years ago, Qu Yuan served as advisor to the king of Chu. He saw corruption everywhere, officials taking bribes, leaders ignoring threats from enemy states. While others stayed silent, Qu Yuan spoke truth to power. He wrote passionate poems about virtue and loyalty. He warned that the Qin state would destroy them if they didn't change course. The king's response: exile. Qu Yuan watched from afar as everything he predicted came true. His homeland was conquered. His people suffered. Faced with a choice between compromise and principle, he chose principle. He walked into the Milua River and never came back. Local fishermen raced out in boats trying to save him. They threw rice dumplings into the water, hoping fish would eat those instead of his body. Today we call it the Dragon Boat Festival. Qu Yuan's legacy teaches us something powerful. Sometimes standing for what's right matters more than survival itself. Your principles are worth defending, even when the cost is high. Did you know a 30-year-old monk in orange robes once silenced 3,000 people with just 4 words? September 1893, Chicago, the world's parliament of religions. Swami Vivekananda had traveled from India with almost no money. Conference organizers rejected him for lacking credentials. But when he finally took the stage, he began with "Sisters and Brothers of America." The crowd erupted in thunderous applause that lasted 2 minutes. This wasn't just a greeting, it was a revolution. While the West saw Eastern philosophy as mystical nonsense, Vivekananda showed them something different: ancient wisdom with practical power. He taught that your true nature isn't your circumstances, it's your consciousness. That meditation isn't escape from reality, it's training for it. That strength comes not from avoiding suffering, but from understanding it. His message spread like wildfire. Vedanta societies formed across America. Psychologists studied his teachings. Transcendentalists embraced his ideas. Today's mindfulness movement, it traces back to that moment in Chicago. One man proved that wisdom has no borders, and that sometimes the most powerful force on earth is a simple truth spoken at the right time. Did you know a man chose to burn alive rather than deny what he believed about the universe? 1600 years ago, Giordano Bruno stared into the night sky and saw something that terrified the church: infinite space, countless worlds, other suns with their own planets. The Roman Inquisition locked him away for 8 years, demanding he take it back. Bruno refused. They showed him the flames that would consume him. He refused again. Here's what Bruno understood that his captors didn't. Truth doesn't become false because powerful people disagree with it. Your convictions are only as strong as what you're willing to sacrifice for them. Bruno walked into those flames knowing something profound. That integrity isn't about being right. It's about staying true to what you know, even when the whole world stands against you. 400 years later, we discovered he was right. Multiple solar systems, infinite space, countless worlds. But Bruno's real victory wasn't being proven right. It was choosing his values over his comfort. When pressure comes, will you bend or will you stand? Did you know that one of history's greatest love stories led to one of philosophy's most powerful lessons about controlling our emotions? Peter Abelard was the most famous teacher in 12th century Europe. Students traveled from across the continent just to hear him speak. Then he fell in love with his brilliant student, Eloise. Their secret affair became a hidden marriage. But when her uncle discovered the truth, he hired men to break into Abelard's room and castrate him. The lovers were torn apart forever, forced into separate monasteries. But here's what's remarkable. Instead of letting bitterness destroy him, Abelard used his suffering to understand something profound about human nature. He realized that our emotions don't have to control our thoughts, that reason can guide us even through the deepest pain. Their letters to each other became some of history's most important writings about balancing passion with wisdom. Abelard discovered what the Stoics taught. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control how you think about it. Even the worst tragedy can become your greatest teacher. Did you know the man who gave us the modern calendar also wrote some of history's most beautiful poetry about death? Omar Khayyam lived in 11th century Persia. By day, he solved complex algebra problems that would influence mathematics for centuries. By night, he wrote verses about wine, roses, and the fleeting nature of life. Most people see science and poetry as opposites. Khayyam saw them as partners in seeking truth. His mathematical mind calculated that our calendar needed exactly 365 and a quarter days. His poetic soul wrote that we are like moving rows of magic shadow shapes that come and go. He understood something we often miss today. Logic without emotion is cold. Emotion without logic is chaos. But when you combine rigorous thinking with deep feeling, you find wisdom. Khayyam's famous verse says the moving finger writes, and having written, moves on. Neither your piety nor wit can cancel half a line. This isn't pessimism, it's clarity. When you truly grasp how brief life is, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You start living with both precision and passion. Did you know a 13-year-old boy was once chosen to be the next world messiah? In 1909, the Theosophical Society discovered Jiddu Krishnamurti on a beach in India. They believed he was destined to become humanity's spiritual savior. For 20 years, they groomed him, built temples in his honor, gathered millions of followers who worshipped him as their future teacher. Then in 1929, Krishnamurti shocked the world. Standing before thousands of devoted followers, he dissolved the entire organization built around him. His words changed everything. Truth is a pathless land. No one can lead you to it. He rejected every guru, every system, every spiritual authority, including himself. Most people seek teachers to follow. Krishnamurti said the teacher is the obstacle. Most people want beliefs to comfort them. He said beliefs prevent you from seeing truth. His radical message was simple. You don't need anyone to set you free. Freedom comes from questioning everything, especially your own mind. The boy chosen to lead others discovered the ultimate wisdom. The only path to truth is the one you walk alone. Did you know that one man's book project helped spark the French Revolution? Denis Diderot started as a struggling writer in Paris, but he had a dangerous idea. What if all human knowledge was organized by reason instead of tradition? In 1749, the government threw him in prison for questioning religion. They thought that would stop him. They were wrong. Diderot secretly continued his massive project called the Encyclopedia. While spies watched his every move, he used a brilliant trick. He hid revolutionary ideas in cross-references. Censors would approve one article, not knowing it connected to dozens of others that challenged everything. Like water flowing around rocks, Diderot found a way past every obstacle. His 28-volume masterpiece didn't just collect facts, it democratized knowledge. It showed ordinary people they could think for themselves. The powerful feared this, because when people stop accepting, because we said so, as an answer, empires crumble. Diderot proved that the pen truly is mightier than the sword. One encyclopedia changed the world. Your ideas have that same power. The question is, will you have the courage to share them? Did you know Rome's greatest philosopher helped create one of history's worst monsters? Seneca taught Stoicism, virtue, self-control, doing what's right no matter the cost. Then he became tutor to young Nero. For years, Seneca tried to shape the future emperor with wisdom. Teach him justice, show him the path of virtue. But power corrupts everything it touches. As Nero rose to rule, Seneca made small compromises. Just this once, just to keep influence, just to do some good. Each compromise made the next one easier. When Nero murdered his own mother, where was Seneca's wisdom? When the emperor burned Christians alive, where were those Stoic principles? Seneca had become complicit in the very evil he once taught against. In the end, Nero forced his old teacher to take his own life. Here's what Seneca's tragedy teaches us. You can't gradually compromise your values and expect to keep your soul. Every small betrayal of your principles makes you weaker. The path to becoming someone you hate isn't dramatic. It's one tiny compromise at a time. Guard your values like your life depends on it, because it does. Did you know one of history's greatest mathematicians carried a secret note sewn into his coat for 20 years? Blaise Pascal was brilliant. He invented the calculator at 19, created probability theory, revolutionized geometry. But on November 23rd, 1654, everything changed. Pascal experienced what he called his night of fire, a mystical vision so powerful, he immediately wrote it down on parchment and sewed it into his jacket lining. He carried those words against his heart until the day he died. The vision transformed him completely. The man who trusted only logic and math suddenly embraced faith over pure reason. This led to his famous Pascal's wager. He argued that believing in God was the smartest bet you could make. But here's the deeper truth Pascal discovered that night. Some of life's most important answers can't be calculated. They must be experienced. He learned to balance mathematical precision with spiritual wisdom. The greatest minds don't just think their way to truth. They feel it, live it, and carry it with them. What truth are you carrying in your heart?